Lucky gives it back to Ranil. SJB registers Ranil-AKD deal. Trophy relieved by Geetha's crossover. Not even AKD himself can prevent his victory, Vijitha says. Ranil takes AKD's economic policy apart. Prasanna assures Ranil of 4 million votes. AKD to decide on key positions before elections. Trouble in SJB over positions. 4 p.m. hopefuls. Audio recordings of Sajith's men to be leaked. Humiliation for promise breakers. Where will Anurella go?
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Lucky gives it back to Ranil. Whatever the games they are left with, presidential candidates have a maximum of 8 days now to play around with for the final showdown. So, the jumping frogs have made their return in yet another round. Less than 24 hours after Thalatha Athukarala went on Ranil Wickremesinghe's Welimada stage, Lakshman Fonseca gave it back to him by getting Geetha Kumarasinghe to extend support to Sajith Premadasa. Also, posts are being shared about a deal between Ranil and Anura, prompting a new wave of abandonments in government ranks. The Leader TV had been reporting that Geetha had been complaining about things for some time. The most recent incident came at the launch of Trophy Alliance at Water's Edge on the 5th. We reported it as follows. All the others were there early. But Premier Dinesh Gunawardena was in a dilemma. He had a meeting ongoing in a separate room. Some wanted Ranil to be present. So commencement of the ceremony dragged on till 10:45 a.m. Several seniors were unhappy with the seating arrangements. Some not even Pradeshya Sabha members are in the front rows. Who is Sugath Hewapatharana? I am seated next to Pavitra's husband. Who made the seating arrangements? They asked. A female state minister among them is in a dilemma these days. Organisers saved themselves by blaming it on Kellum Gunatileke, media secretary to State Minister D.B. Herath. As the launch was getting delayed, Geetha left saying she could not wait any longer. When a young MP inquired, she said the time was close to 11, although they were invited to be there by 9:30. She left, making choicy remarks against Ramesh Pathirana. It is said that Ramesh and Geetha don't see eye to eye, although they both represent Gala. Geetha has been saying she won't have a chance as long as Ramesh is there. SJB's Gayantha Karunatilake tipped Lucky off that Geetha was in a quandary. He got into action immediately. Soon after she went on Sajith's stage, Ranil's social media team started sharing what she had been saying just recently.
ගන්න තියෙන වැදගත්ම තීරණය ගන්නට ඔබට හෙට අනිද්දා මේ ජනාධිපතිවරණයේදී සිදු වෙනවා ඇත. රට වැටිලා ගෑස් එක හොයාගන්න පාර දිගේ පොලිමේ ඉන්නකොට දරුවව මොන්ටසෝරියට දාගන්න ත්‍රිවිල් එකට පෙට්‍රල් ටික හොයාගන්න බැරුව ඉන්නකොට කන්න නැති වෙනකොට පොලිමේ මැරිලා වැටෙනකොට ආර්ථිකය බංකොලොත් කියලා කියනකොට මේක බාරගන්න හිටියේ නෑ කවුරුවත්. මාලිමා යන්ත්‍රේ සූත්‍ර පුංචලා බල බල හිටියා වටපිට. සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස විපක්ෂ නායක දැන් කයිවාරු ගැහුවට එදා ගිහිල්ලා හැංගුණා. අපි වැවුලුවා. අපිට කරගන්න දෙයක් නැතුව හිටියා. ගෝඨාභය මහත්තයා යනකොට අපි හිතුවා අපි අනාතයි කියලා. එහෙව් රටක හුස්ම ගන්න බැරුව හිටියා අපිට. හුස්ම පොදක් දුන්නේ කවුද? රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ.
Anyway, Geetha's exit has given immense relief for Ramesh. He says he is grateful to Sajith for having accepted her and that he can take care of matters in Gale without any trouble now. The Habara Dua organiser for the UNP too joined Sajith. Lionel Ipalawate, who had been in the UNP since 1977, had left, reported pro-SJB media. Lucky, who is a distant relation to Ipalawate, was told about him by MP Chandima Weerakodi. Now, whoever joins Sajith, his team attributes it to an exposure of a Ranil-AKD deal. Its media experts have decided to highlight it as topmost priority in the remaining days. Their calculation is that by doing so, they would be able to woo UN PERS to their side. Lucky quoted a state intelligence report and explained matters to Sajith's inner circle. We too get state intelligence reports. The latest says our boss has 38%, Anura 32% and Ranil 22%. All the others have a total of 8%. What we should do now is break Ranil's image. We should woo at least 10% of his votes in the remaining days. Then, we can easily have more than 50%. The boss has okayed the suggestion to highlight the Ranil-AKD deal, he said. Marikar started it, followed by Sena Singhi and some others. Sajith himself has taken it up as well. He told a rally in Kandy that both their common objective is to defeat him. They are sharing the second preference. I don't need a second preference. The SJB will win in the first round. People cannot be deceived by political deals, he said.
Ranil-AKD Anura Disanayaka අයියමලෝ දෙපළ මරු ජෝඩුව දේශපාලන ජෝඩුව මොකද්ද කුමන්ත්‍රණය මොනවා හරි කරලා සජිත්ව පරද්දමු මම මගේ අයට කියන්නම් දෙවෙනි මනාපේ ඔයාට දෙන්න ඔයා කියන්න ඔයාගේ දෙවෙනි මනාපේ මට දෙන්න ඔන්න රනිල්-වික්‍රමසිංහ අනුර කුමාර දිසානායක දීගේ මම කියනවා දෙවෙනි මනාප වැඩක් නැහැ පළවෙනි වටෙන්ම සමගි ජන බලවේගය දුරකථනය දිනනවාමයි.
The talk of a deal arose from Ranil's reference to my friend Anura at every stage in recent days.
මගේ මිත්‍ර අනුර කුමාර මැතිතුමා ඌ කියන්නේ බා මගේ යාළුවා.
Ranil mentioned that at the Gampola rally on Monday too. Since AKD has asked him not to call him friend, he would start calling him the former agriculture minister, said Ranil.
මාලිමාව කියන අනුව මේ අයවැය හැදුවොත් ආරම්භ වෙන්නේ ඩොලරයකට රුපියල් 400-425යි. ඒක 500ට පස්සේ අඩු වෙනවා. මං කියන්නම් ඇයි කියලා. උද්දමනයේ 125යි. අපිට ණය ගන්න පුළුවන් දල දේශීය නිෂ්පාදනයෙන් 5%ක් පමණයි. දැන් එන අවුරුද්දේ ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම අපේ වියදම බිලියන 6800යි. අපේ ආදායම බිලියන 5100යි. ඉතින් තියෙනවා අපිට පරතරයක්. මං ඒ සඳහා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මාකට් එකෙන් මුදල් අරගන්න 5%කට අඩුව. අපි අරගත්තාම හරියටම 5%ට ගත්තාම මගේ අයවැය හරි. වියදමයි ආදායමයි දෙකම හරි. මම බැලුවා මේ මාලිමාවේ අයවැය. ඒගොල්ලෝ කිව්වේ ඔක්කොම අපිට උවමනා වෙනවා ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම බිලියන 8900ක්. ආදායම ඒගොල්ලෝ බඩු හැම එකක්ම බඩු අඩු කරාන් පස්සේ ආදායම 4900යි. අපේ ආදායම 5100යි. ඒගොල්ලේ ආදායම 4900යි. එතකොට මොකද්ද අයවැය හිඟය? බිලියන 4000ක් අඩුයි. රුපියල් බිලියන 4000ක් කියන්නේ දල දේශීය නිෂ්පාදනයේ 11.9%. 12%. දැන් කොහෙන්ද ඉතුරු ටික හොයාගන්නේ? පහට වඩා ගියොත් ඉතුරු 7 හොයාගන්නේ කොහොමද? කොහෙන්ද හොයාගන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලෝ මාකට් එකට ගිහින් අරගන්න බැලුවොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට සල්ලි නෑ මාකට් එකේ අඩු ගානේ මේක පොලිය 125ක් වෙනවා. අනික් අතට ගිහින් සල්ලි අච්චු ගහන්න ගියොත් අපිට ලැබෙන්නේ නෑ කිසිම ආධාරයක්. එහෙනම් රුපියල පටන් ගත්තොත් ඩොලරයකට 400යි 425යි සල්ලි අච්චු ගහන්න ගිහින් IMF එකෙන් මුදල් දෙනකොට ඕක 500ක් වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒකයි මං අහන්නේ මගේ මිත්‍ර කියලා තියෙනවා මට මිත්‍රයා කියන්න එපා කියලා හිටපු කෘෂිකර්ම ඇමති අනුර දිසානායකගෙන් කරුණා කළා කියන්න මොකද්ද මේ අයවැය? ඇයි මිනිස්සුන්ට ආපහු දාන්නේ මේ බර? මම වැරදි නම් කරුණා කළා තමන්ගේ සංඛ්‍යා ලේඛන කියන්න. නිකන් මේ කෝපි කඩේ කතා දාන්න එපා. මම ඒකයි කියන්නේ. කෝපි කඩේ කතා එපා. ජනතාවට දාන බර කියන්න.
At the same time, he took the NPP's economic policy to task, saying it would deny 4,000 billion rupees in income to the country annually. Ranil challenged AKD to come up with figures instead of talking rubbish. Speaking to the media, NPP's Vijitha Herath countered this deal talk. It is very clear the deal is between Ranil and Sajith. The best example is State Minister Arundika Fernando's parliamentary speech, he said. Both Sajith and Ranil cannot do it, and they cannot do it together as well, and not even AKD himself cannot prevent his victory because people have already made him victorious, Vijitha opined. A post on a WhatsApp group said AKD is presently like a bosom friend for Ranil because the NPP candidate divides the votes opposed to Ranil to weaken Sajith. Some even say Ranil is behind the idea that AKD is ahead of Sajith. Even if AKD wins, that will be a victory of sorts for Ranil. He knows the inexperienced AKD will spoil it, queues will return, and he will become a hero again. With Sajith's defeat, the remaining UNP support will go to Ranil, enabling him to rebuild the party. At the worst, a government with AKD as the president and Ranil as the PM is possible. Critics say that by this and many other things, Ranil has proven his mettle. So the silent majority is more likely to come to his aid, say the critics. Prasanna assures Ranil of 4 million votes. A majority of SLPP MPs are now backing Ranil, rallied under the Trophy Symbol Alliance. Only a handful are supporting Namal, but from time to time they forget on which side they stand, speaking good of either Ranil or Mahinda. What is important here is how the SLPP votes will go to the two opposing camps. That came up on Monday at the Flower Road campaign office when Ranil inquired as to how many SLPP votes they could garner. Prasanna gave him a lengthy explanation. Gota received 6.9 million votes when he contested for the presidency, but that came down to 6.8 million at the last general election. For Sajith, it was 5.5 million and 2.7 million respectively. The NPP polled around 400,000 votes at both elections. Prasanna noted that Sajith lost around 2.8 million votes at the general election, where the UNP polled around 250,000 votes. Tamil and Muslim parties that supported Sajith secured nearly 900,000 votes. He lost around 1.9 million southern votes. Also, around 700,000 votes were rejected and 1.3 million abstained, who could mostly be the disappointed UNP voters. The SLPP polled 6.8 million votes and secured 130 seats. More than 100 of them are now with us, he said. It is true the SLPP votes are divided, but we can easily get you more than 4 million votes, Prasanna assured him. Ranil just listened and advised all to do the canvassing part successfully. Both the SJB and the MPP are already assured of victory. AKD has set aside the 18th and 19th of September to decide on the key government positions once he becomes the president. In the SJB, trouble is brewing over positions. Madhuma Bandara and Lakshman Kiriella both harbour prime ministerial aspirations. At the Kandy rally, Hesha Vithanaj said it would be better if the upcountry secured that position. In the meantime, GL Piris and Dulles Alahaparuma too are having similar expectations. Furthermore, a loss for Sajith will mean the party leadership goes to the next one in line, because that is what he fought for when he was in the UNP. So this election will be quite crucial for him. Audios of Sajith's men to be leaked. A majority of Colombo municipality electorates are considered to be UNP strongholds. Traditionally, the party holds the final election rally in front of Elphinstone Theatre in Maradana. This time, a problem has arisen. The SJB is going to hold Sajith's final rally at the nearby Tower Hall premises. The distance between the two locations is less than 100 metres. So, police have notified both parties that allotting the venues would be problematic. Geetha has now left Ranil and is with Sajith. Furthermore, an upcountry minister from Cockerell's Symbol Party too is rumoured to follow suit. So, a presidential secretariat official telephoned that party's leader. That one replied that his family's tradition had been to leave early. "We don't change sides in the middle of a campaign," he insisted. Many in the opposition got many things done by the big man on a promise of support at the election. He obliged them gladly. Now most cannot be contacted over the phone, even some numbers have changed. So, gas cylinder party's hope of wooing a sizable lot of telephone MPs has hit a few roadblocks. Now audio recordings of the deal struck with them are to be leaked. A video of Marikar was out just days ago. Critics say Sajith cannot evade responsibility and question his silence over the matter. Where will Anurella go? The social media is full of talk about the Anura wave or Anurella. The days of debate that he cannot win are over. Now it is all about AKD's challenges after winning and what he cannot do. Satyavadiyaje Adavia had a post which goes as, "The NPP is experiencing a tsunami this time," or else a mob rule. The NPP cannot be happy about it at all. It will not be easy for them to manage it. It is a dangerous game to manage it and deliver what they ask for. Immature ones like Handonetti should not be happy about this. It is quite a formidable force. Taming it will be possible by a skilled one only. How can a 3% win? If it wins by any chance, the country is finished. Even if it wins, it will collapse in 6 months. Some try to make up their minds like that. What's next? But AKD does not talk big. He says he wants to see people queuing up in front of a cinema hall or to buy a book. AKD does not promise miracles soon after a NPP rule comes. Anyway, the entire election is focused around the NPP. Professor Nirmal Ranjith Devasiri says opponents are left with reacting only. What is going to happen is not just another election, but one that follows the worst economic crisis and a revival of sorts. It is up to the voters to decide whether to carry on or to experiment in facing that challenge. That's it for today.
The Leader දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම